Hi, my beautiful Cancers. I hope you're all doing well. So this was supposed to be your you versus them reading. And I was going to do you, Virgo, Aquarius, Aries, and Scorpio after I just did those collective readings. I guess it was like kind of split into two. But I've been really feeling like I don't want to do any more you versus them. And I'm like, Spirit, why? You guided me to do you versus them, which I found peculiar in the first place because love and questions about another person or external energy generally comes out in the readings anyways, if it needs to be said. Like, I don't need to be a specific, like have a specific theme for that to come out. So I did find it weird. And then I'll share this with you. I'm going to do a collective reading on this, but because it's the first time of my own realization, I want to share it. But then those videos, the you versus them, they weren't really like, I don't know, they weren't really going anywhere. The views were a lot lower than normal. And I was like, well, why did Spirit get me to do that? I'm like, maybe they just, somebody needed to hear those messages and it wasn't for a big collective. Then this morning I had the download. Okay. I'm going to get into your reading, but this is the download I had. Okay. Yeah, I know. It looks a little bit crazy. I know. But it's a yod. And if you don't know what a yod is, don't worry about it. I'll get into it in the collective reading if you want to join in on that one when it comes out, the next collective reading. But you, Cancer, are here at the base of the yod. So these are all the signs that I have yet to read for. And I realized that there's something very special going on here between you 5 and your elements. Okay, so maybe this is significant for you to know because I wasn't planning on sharing it until I got to the collective. But there is something about you being a grounding energy at this time, you also being a catalyst and a mobilizing force for others. So yeah, look out for the general reading. The next one, if you want to learn more about my download, and I still have to process it a little bit because I'm not exactly sure what we're getting at there. But yeah, there's something interesting. So instead of doing a you versus them, because the whole point of Spirit getting me to do that was to leave those 5 for last and then think about why I was doing that. Okay, so it wasn't about the you versus them. So we're going to get into your reading, which is going to be a solar plexus reading. A solar plexus reading. Interesting. A chakra reading, but interesting I said solar plexus. Okay, so that's that area of I do. It's the area of will and purpose and strength, sun energy. I'm hearing Leo. So maybe there's something you want to think about there. But let's do the chakras. We'll go, up the chakras. We'll look at, all the different things. Who do you love? What are you saying? What are you seeing? What do you know? What are you doing? How are you feeling? That kind of thing. All right, Cancer. And if love comes out or an energy about love, then we'll for sure go into that. If you're still here, then I'm sure this reading will have something for you. But it is general. It is on YouTube. It's not a personal reading. So some parts might not resonate and others will. And that's okay. If the whole thing resonates or you feel like you want to know more about whatever comes up, the themes I'm hearing in this reading, then there will be an extended. You can find that link in the description box below. Okay, Cancer. I'm hearing no do-overs. I feel like even if you make a mistake with something, this could be something at work or I don't know, maybe even a relationship, there's no do-overs, okay? I don't know, that's going to be, you apply it as it resonates. So let's get the 7 cards out here, Spirit, for the Cancer collective that's watching or whoever's watching here. Just 2 more. That's good, guys. We have an extra one, we'll take it. The bottom, we have the Three of Wands, and I feel like this is kind of the energy that you've been in for a while, is having a vision here. I feel like that vision was a little bit uncertain, but beginning to bloom nonetheless. You may have felt like something was going to be a very difficult journey coming up for you, but I feel like you're in the middle of it now. You're in the midst of that journey. Some of you are almost done completing that journey here. All the cards came out in reverse, so I'm flipping them over. I think that deck wasn't shuffled to have reversals, so we'll just take that as a sign that you don't need to have those kinds of, I'm hearing those kinds of readings, okay? I don't know, Cancer. Maybe that's a message for someone working with tarot. Okay. I typically do work with reversals, but this is coming out, so. Your root chakra, what's going on in your root chakra, Cancer? And this is the place where you feel safe. You know, this is the energetic space that brings about that sense of security, safety, groundedness, home, being center. This represents the element of earth. It's also about instinct, security. Did I say it's security twice? Okay. So you have the Magician. Beautiful. If you have the Magician at your root chakra, well, that means that whatever's going on there is going to manifest all the way up. I'm hearing through your system for you, and I'm noticing the green there. So right to the heart chakra might be a central focus, which is about love, okay? But yes, so I feel as though I'm hearing taking a bath, but I feel as though you're having a transformation of space, place, and belonging, I'm hearing. And really, everything is up to you at this point. No matter what situation you find yourself in, what happens next, you have great influence over. And that's interesting because I was just reading about the Chariot card, and, you know, I like to kind of get different perspectives on different cards. And the one I was reading was actually from this book, which is pretty good. I dropped it in the bathtub. Can you tell? Interesting how the bath came up. But the explanation for the Chariot there was that, or one of them that I haven't read, was that every man believes they're in control of their fate, even though they're not. And of course, that would go with the Chariot card because there's no reins, you know, on those horses or those sphinx guiding the chariot forward. So you have to kind of surrender to spirit and also to karma, right? Whatever's going on is an energetic pullback, I'm hearing, and a takeover. Energetic pullback and a takeover. So the point here with your root chakra is you're feeling pretty powerful. I am powerful. And if you don't feel that way, then you can say that mantra a few times to yourself because the energy is here for you to take, I feel. Only if you want to. Okay, so the next chakra is I feel. This is the sacral chakra. This is about the element of water, fluidity, pleasure, sense of self. It's about feeling joy and creativity. It's also related, well, so the root can be as well, but sex generally is the sacral chakra. But root chakra can have to do with trauma related to relationships and sex as well. Okay, so you have the Six of Swords here. I feel like you're clearing something out here, a past connection, a past way of working on someone. Ooh, I was going to say something. Past way of working on someone. Let's get a little bit more on that. What's that about, Spirit? Past way of working on someone for Cancer. The Hangman in reverse. Trying to get someone to see a different perspective in a certain storyline or situation. And you could have been doing this on the 5D. You could have been doing this, I'm hearing overtly, okay. But also subliminally, I'm getting. I'm not exactly sure what that means. Maybe that's not for everyone. But you're moving past that. You're finding new senses of pleasure. And I just heard an owl. Yeah. I feel like You're gaining some wisdom here and clarity about where you want to go to next. And where you're going to next, Cancer, in your solar plexus, which was like the thing that came out right in the beginning, is the Empress. Beautiful, lovely, amazing, awesome. To have Venus in your solar plexus, Venus and the sun together, beautiful combination. Okay, so I feel like your own heart space is going to be illuminated to yourself, but I also feel like you're going to be very attractive to others at this time. Your beauty, what you're doing, I'm hearing what you're putting into form is beautiful. It has a very Venusian vibe, and everything you do and say, it has a gentleness to it that's very welcome. Part of your purpose, Cancer, and it goes with your sign, is to nourish yourself. Okay, and this is what you're beginning to realize here, that what you do when it comes to taking care of yourself and nourishing yourself, your spiritual health, your well-being, I'm hearing that, well, I'm hearing gardening, but I feel like it's a metaphor. The things around you that you cultivate and that you take care of, whatever it is you do, you put hands on, turns out to have this kind of energetic influence in how you ultimately feel and perceive the world and those that you come into contact with. Interesting. So I'm seeing like a energetic cord to someone like watering their plant at home, to connecting with a soul. It looks like a spirit. It's like translucent, spirit, soul somewhere far away, but it's in the act of nourishing and taking care that sends out that energy, and to connect with another energy that is also careful. I'm hearing careful. That's beautiful. Okay. Next we have I love with the heart chakra. We have the 5 of Swords. So this is the element of air, compassion, balance, and acceptance. It's also a yin energy. And I feel like, yin energy as opposed to yang can be an energy of retreating, can be an energy of being quiet, being still, letting things kind of die, right? Letting things come to their natural end in the spirit of rebirth. And I feel like that's what's going on here in your heart space, is that you're retreating from something, I'm hearing toxic, that took up a lot of energy in your mind space. Tell me more about this 5 of Swords for the Cancer collective. The Strength card, but I'm seeing the scarab beetle. If you haven't watched my last collective reading, or which one was it called? It was about Uranus and Venus squared. It was about potent and powerful energies. You might want to check that out, because the scarab beetle came through in that reading as you kind of dealing with somebody who didn't really work well with their karmic lessons, and now they're going to have to, I said in that reading, roll a big ball of shit up, into their next lifetime to resolve their karma, because that's what scarab beetles do, is, they roll their own shit around as a way to keep up their own regeneration, but it was funny when it came through. Anyways, you might want to check out that reading. But strength here, you're realizing that to walk away, to lay down the sword, or to let somebody else think they won a game, whatever this is related to, is its own strength. 2 of Cups. Tell me more about that. 3 of Swords behind that. This was not easy. Was not easy, Cancer. Whew, right in the heart chakra too. But whatever it is that you're doing is creating more strength for you. Give me one more about that. The heart chakra for Cancer. Knight of Swords and the 5 of Wands. See, you could have gone this route, right? Knight of Swords and 5 of Wands. You could have been sharp with your tongue. You could have been combative. One of my best friends is a Cancer, and actually we were just talking today. She was like talking about how, she's disagreeing with someone, and hi, if you're watching, I love you. But she was talking about how she was disagreeing with someone and how she just like doesn't care. She cut them off. She's cold. She doesn't give a fuck, right? And that can be this energy of retreating with the Five of Swords. But that's not what I'm seeing here. What I'm seeing that cold energy being is this like internalization, Cancer friend, you know, because when you go cold, right? Where does that energy of like, I really don't like you, or I hate you, or you're making me mad, where does that energy go? You know, careful that you're not internalizing it. So it's all a matter of perspective, of course, and how you meditate on the situation and the energy. You know, my friend's pretty spiritually evolved, so I'm not concerned about her, but you know, there's a message here for someone about that. I think you took the high road, and it wasn't a place of internalizing someone else's pain or the anger in a situation or the heartbreak related to the situation. Okay, so I speak throat chakra. We have the Three of Cups. It's the element of spirit, and this is about communication, creativity, and resonance. Well, see, you're only chilling and vibing with people who you resonate with. You know, you're cutting out those who don't belong. I also feel like you have lessons to teach people. And that's so beautiful to, I've said this in another reading, to be able to teach and learn with the same group of people, like friends teaching one another things, and then, you know, learning from one another as well, where it's kind of like this infinity loop here of teacher-student, right? Between friends who love one another, because oftentimes lessons are tough, they're hard, you know, and sometimes to learn a lesson, you need a strict teacher. And when it comes from someone who loves you and someone you love, and you know they have your best interest at heart, it's a lot easier to learn that lesson, even if it's delivered in a strict way. So I feel like you have some friends who could be really honest with you and could also share their wisdom of their own experiences in the world. And if you do have people kind of coaching you, I'm hearing, then listen to them, and then also offer to teach them something. And it doesn't have to be about the same situation. It could be something else entirely, but it's participate in that exchange of energy. It's a really beautiful, nice thing to do. You know, if you have a friend who comes over and hugs you when you cry, you know, and like gossips with you about your breakup or whatever it is you need to do, you know, to release. I don't mean gossip in the negative sense. I mean that whole like sit on the couch with ice cream and watch like rom-coms kind of deal after a breakup. I know it's cliche, but whatever that is, whoever that is for you, it's really nice to reciprocate when you have the energy to do so, and do something nice for them. You know, cook them a meal, send them a card, send them a gift, call them up, have a long conversation, write them a letter, do something that shows you appreciate their company. Oh, Cancer, that's emotional. It's probably just me though, because I'm thinking about my friends and how they were there for me. All right, so I see is the next chakra with your brow or your third eye. We have the Queen of Wands. It's the element of light, perception, intuition, and imagination. This is what I'm saying. You have something to teach people. You can help people out with something, and you can do it rather quickly. I also feel like if you're planning to do some kind of public speaking or releasing something through the throat chakra, like a truth, okay, that maybe you've kept down for some time, could be related to this heartbreak, you're going to gain attention or receptivity relatively quickly, okay? So be prepared for that. It's going to be swift here. Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Yeah, it's going to be really quick. Maybe you're not even planning for this, Okay, I feel like it's a little bit of a surprise. You have a vision of how you want to be perceived by the world and what you want to do. And I'm getting this feeling like overnight, it's almost as soon as you activate that third eye, which is like, you know, saying, yes, I want this. Yes, I am this vibration. You know, I am of this vibration. Therefore, it's going to happen for me. You know, that kind of beingness or becomingness. When you put that out there, it's going to happen really swiftly. It's going to come in. I feel like it's going to shock you a little bit. I know you have the Hermit card with the crown chakra. I find this really interesting because of that picture I showed you. Virgo, and this is a Virgo card, was at the crown, I guess, of the yod that I had there. So this is also crowning you, which is very interesting, beautiful. And we have Mercury with the Magician at your root, which is also a Virgo element. So there's something about Virgo energy that is very sacred at this time, I'm hearing. So you might want to look at where that is in your chart, any personal planets, or even outer planets is cool too. Just have a look at what that means for you. I'm seeing 6 of Wands. There's something about it being a key to your success there, that Virgo energy. And if you know a Virgo that you don't like, I'm not talking about them, like that you need to, I don't know, do something with that person. It's more of like the archetype of Virgo. So you're going within while being perceived as wildly popular on the outside. This is interesting. This actually reminds me of like a guru vibe, right? Where the guru goes out and talks to everybody and shares their wisdom, but really seeks to spend a lot of time alone and does so that they can learn all the wisdom that they can teach later on. So when you want to download information or get in touch with your guides or tap into your unconscious, cultivate your intuitive skills, I feel like it's good to find that place where you can be alone. And I'm seeing like even being out in nature or some kind of special spot you have. I'm actually picturing someone in a car somewhere in nature. I don't know, maybe that's something you do. But it's like having alone time with like no distractions around you, nothing. And I feel like it's important that this is somewhere that you are not normally in a frenetic energy. So for example, say you have a busy household and there's tons of things going on. Maybe you want to pick a different place in the world. I'm hearing a different place in the world for you to just sit and write down the things that are coming to your mind or audio record it. I'm feeling like I did a lot of that. I did a lot of audio recording. I did a lot of like walking in the forest and recording my thoughts and my downloads and my intuitions about things. And that was really fun and it was really useful and helpful. Because not only did it allow me to record whatever I was getting, but when I listened back, I could hear the atmosphere as well. Like I could hear the trees, I could hear when a bird like sang its song as I was saying something in particular, which added another layer to the message I was getting. So that, yeah, that's interesting. So that's something you might want to think about. Okay, so we're going to go into the extended here, Cancer. What a beautiful reading. I hope that you got something out of that. I think in the extended reading, maybe you're dealing with another Cancer, because I was just about to say, I kind of want to get into this resolution over this heartbreak. Where do you go from here in your path? Let's see, resilience. Well, you're very resilient, Cancer. Is that where we want to go in the extended? I'm hearing no. Maybe you don't need an extended, Cancer. I don't think you do. Okay, I love you so much. I'll see you next time.